Everyone loves to experience the win, the hysterical joy of the moment when a hard-fought battle's been won. But for that win, what none of us see are the countless hours in the gym, the grit, the sweat, coaches and trainers watching tape, losing. Winning doesn't come easy. And it's the same in our city. But our neighbors are playing for something bigger than any game on any field. They're playing for their futures. Hundreds walk through our doors at CityLink Center every year, and we serve as their training field. They pour in sweat and effort, working with coaches and trainers, studying, practicing, and enduring setbacks. Progress doesn't come easy. Their game day is every day, applying the skills and knowledge they've gained to pursue their dreams. They may never hear the thundering applause from a stadium of fans, but their struggle and pursuits are even more deserving of our admiration and respect. We are honored to share just 3 of their stories.
My name is Jabril McCaster. I am 28 years old and I was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. Growing up, my mother didn't really know what the problem was. There were definitely a lot of struggles and obstacles I had to overcome. Being diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and finding out I had Asperger's, which is a form of autism. Going through school was definitely a tough time. There would be times where I didn't want to be there. I couldn't concentrate. It would just be a struggle. I would just have a mental breakdown and not want to be there at all. I feel what helped me kind of get through that is I saw therapists. Things slowly got better, and I feel like also as it helped having a good support system, and as I grew and matured, I was able to better assess and handle my feelings. So post-high school, post-graduation, I transitioned into Northern Kentucky University, NKU. It was a long journey because actually while I was in I want to say my sophomore year is when my son was born. My grandmother, she was always there to help me if I needed a babysitter, so I was able to go to class. And even after going in class, I would stay in the library to get any other work done, because that way when I get home, I can focus on my family, I can focus on my son. So I graduated with my Bachelor's of Science in Sociology. I decided to pursue my master's and go into grad school for social work. But life, of course, presents its challenges. In 2018, my son's mother and I had actually decided to separate, and caused a lot of financial problems for me, and that's where I kind of had to actually rely on using credit cards to pay for my bills and to get things for my son, like groceries and all that. I had to go from, being independent my freshman year in college to eventually moving back in with my mother a year before I'm graduating with my master's. That was also at the time where I was having the thoughts in the back of my head again, okay, you're about to graduate again, so what's the next step? You gotta figure out what you want to do with your life as a career. Once the pandemic hit, and that kind of brought me back to square one. I have some family members, particularly my uncle, who's actually in IT, and I don't know if he was trying to get me more motivated to maybe go that route, but he was like, guess how much I'm making? And he just kept saying higher and higher, and he eventually told me. I was like, wow, that's amazing. He was like, yes, the ceiling in IT is very high. Well, I was like, well, yeah, that's great and all, but I feel like I would have to go to school again, and I don't want to go to school again. I don't want to take out loans. And that's where it's like, well, fortunately you don't have to, because there's this program called Prescholis, and they train you to get into the IT field, to get certifications and get into the IT field. And I've always had an interest in technology, electronics, different softwares. I've always had an interest in that. So, why not pursue this opportunity during the pandemic?
I'm Danny Watkins. I'm on the team here at CityLink Center. CityLink Center is a co-located model where we bring together 17 different organizations who are working collaboratively to help impact our clients' lives. Clients can walk through one set of doors and they have access to a variety of resources. We bucket those into training programs that can help move people into a career path, as well as supporting services that help remove any distractions that could potentially derail them from their journey to their career. So Jabril engaged with Perscolis, which is our IT training program, and he worked with them on their IT support class, where it was a 12-week class where he learned how to take computers apart and put them back together, which ultimately led him to getting his CompTIA A+ certification and some Google certifications.
So I pursued my CompTIA A+ through the program, Perscolis, and the program was pretty rigorous. You have to put in the work to get the results. So, and fortunately enough, it paid off as I made my way through the program, because I was reminding myself why I'm doing this, not only for me, but for my son, because I wanted to create a future for us. Eventually, I graduated from the program, and then we also have a business development coach who also helped get our resumes out there to various different companies.
But Perscolis doesn't just stop there. They have a team that's put together to help with soft skills as well. So they work on getting interview skills, resumes ready to go, and then they have someone on their team who acts as a liaison between employers to connect the learner with job opportunities, so when they graduate, they know what their next steps are going to be.
And one of the places that I applied to really stood out. The company was called Ahead. So I applied to Ahead for the service desk position. I got the job and I was very excited. So now that I have the stability of my full-time job at Ahead, another goal that I really wanted to work on was just any financial problems. And my financial advisor, Michelle, is really great. She's helped me put together a budget, so I'll always have money put away for like savings, and she helped me get an emergency fund together. Just really having control over my money, not letting my money and all of my expenses control me. So close to right now, I actually have about 80% of my credit card debt paid off right now, going through the Smart Money program with Michelle. Coming from having no income to post Perscolis and making what I am today is an amazing feeling, knowing that I can get the things not only I need, but my son needs. My goals honestly right now are just to keep pushing forward in my career, developing, getting more certifications. I recently got my A+ and my Net Plus. I'm hoping to get my Security Plus, and I'm hoping to continue my education through Perscolis, because the great thing about Perscolis is that you can continue learning with them through their alumni programs. I'm just excited because there's so much I can do in the IT field. It's great to have such a high in-demand skill that will help provide for myself and my family.
My name's Jamie Kirby. I'm 45 years old, grew up kind of all over, decent childhood. My mom worked all the time to provide for the household. It was kind of a tumultuous at-home environment. My dad was a bad alcoholic. I went to Wright State, freshman year right out of high school. Didn't do very well there. I was 20 years old when I had my first son. Me and my kid's dad wasn't getting along. Ended up homeless, going to nursing school, living in a homeless shelter, but I made it through. I did make it through. I knew that I needed to do something to provide for my kids and not really struggle, While I was in nursing school, I met another guy, and he was a heroin addict. I ended up on heroin. Talked to my children's father. He was a good dad, but I was like, you need to take the boys. This is gonna get worse before it gets better. He did, and I'm thankful for that, you know what I mean? Because things did spiral out of control. Ended up on the streets. I'm staying with friends, but everybody I knew was on drugs, you know what I mean? I was on heroin for 3 years and hated it, absolutely hated it. I lost contact with my children, lost contact with my family. So the guy I get with, we started a tree service, and we had an awesome business. Had a great time, you know what I mean? Loved doing it. But still, that drug was the underlying issue. I was with him for 10 years. That year, I found out that he was cheating on me. Being as distraught and hurt, betrayed that I felt, I lost it. And I burned our home down. I was charged with arson. I was incarcerated for 27 months. Never been in trouble before really in my life. A real low point in my life, probably the lowest I've ever been. I lost my career, lost my, basically my husband, lost my family. My mother and sister wrote me off while I was in there. When I was in prison, I wasn't one to hang out in the day room. I didn't hang out in the yard. I went to work every day there, read my Bible every day. I knew that being an addict was not who I was supposed to be. 15 days before I was supposed to be released, Pathways here in Cincinnati decided to let me come there. So one of the RAs said, you need to go down to CityLink. She was like, they will help you, because I wanted to get into construction. I wanted to get into the not typical female job. I got a bus pass and came down and met Rachel for the first time. I just love her. I love Rachel to death. Everybody that I've dealt with here has been fantastic and has been the biggest cheerleaders for me because they became my family. Claire is my service coordinator here at CityLink, and she's been awesome. She's been great to work with. So when I came down and took the class, I think it was the introductory class for the CEO program for people that had just got out of prison. Thought, why not give this a go? You know what I mean? Give this a go. Put money on my pocket every day, as long as you showed up. While I was in that program, I got my Flagger certification. I took a Google Docs certification class for Word, Excel. Erica from CEO connected me with Findlay Market, and I got hired on. I started here in July of 2021. After 5 months, I got promoted to second shift lead supervisor. And recently, they have opened up a new position called the maintenance coordinator. They have asked me to put my resume in for that. I like the job. It's really fun down there. There's a social aspect to it, but I like the hands-on, working with tools, working with the public, and actually seeing that I make a difference in a little area of Cincinnati. I was asked to help lead a group of ladies that were also going through the halfway house back out into the workforce. It was called the Next Level Group. So Susanna was also going to co-facilitate the group with me.
So my name is Susanna Croce. I got connected with CityLink a long time ago through Crossroads. I was really excited to get involved with the Next Level. The Next Level is something that was created by CityLink for graduates to be able to have an extension, a connection to community, and maybe some further employment development and training. CityLink came up with the idea of taking an alumni and a volunteer and pairing us together, pulling our strengths and coming alongside a group like that.
Still to this day, we talk to each other on the phone. We've went out to lunch. She's somebody I think about, and I'm blessed that I met her here at CityLink.
With this connection that we both had, we could draw on our strengths. Like, I had tons of experience in facilitating. Jamie has lived that life in graduating and knowing what it's like to find safe housing, and Jamie really shined when it came to the one-on-one and the personal situations that these women were going through day to day. So
Susanna is a very positive, upbeat, looks on the brighter side of things. Even if something's bad, she's always got a positive things to say. And Susanna makes me feel good about myself, even though I have got a backstory that's not so great.
Have you met Jamie? She's incredible. Okay, she can chop down trees. She can take apart a car engine and I think put it back together. She has compassion and a heart to pull somebody who maybe has OD'd off the bathroom floor, Narcan them. She carries Narcan and give them the coat off her back. And that's actually a true story about Jamie.
If it wouldn't have been for this place, I wouldn't have the confidence to, everybody in here seen it in me before I seen it in myself. Now that I have the stability here at Findlay Market of a great income, I'm getting ready to move to a bigger apartment and save up for a vehicle and just be able to enjoy life the way life should be enjoyed. So in the future here at CityLink, I would like to meet with Michelle and dive into my budget and savings and see what I can do for my financial future. I want to get my license back. I want to save up to get a car. My roommate's dad has a motorcycle for sale for me, so I've been putting money back for that also. With this foundation of CityLink, I know that I could always come back here and if I have any questions or any concerns or things that I'm unsure about, someone here will walk me through it. And I know that if I keep putting one foot in front of the other, pause and take a breath and look at my surroundings and see how blessed I've been since I've gotten out and lived the best life that I possibly can from here on out.
My name is Erica Hilson. I'm 27 years old. I grew up in Cincinnati. I bounced around a lot. I lived in a lot of different neighborhoods. I was in foster care for a lot of my adolescence, but I was able to be reunited with my mom. I had kids pretty young, but I was still able to be a good mother and provide. I graduated from high school. Even though I had my children young, I was still able to show them that it's possible to still graduate. I never really had a lot of opportunities, especially given the fact that I had children young. So anything I could take, I would just grab and work hard as I could at it. With a lot of jobs I had to quit because of childcare and resources and transportation, because my first priority is always to be a mother. And like I said, I was tired of dead-end jobs. You don't want to get up and go to work, and I wanted something that I can build a future for my children. I could be able to provide for them continually and not just, oh, now I done quit a job, so I gotta find something else, or I'm out of work for 3-4 months because childcare, so I just had to, CityLink allowed me to do all those things. At the same time, I was able to get childcare. I was able to get a community of people that believe that I can do it, and they gave me the action too. It wasn't just, it wasn't just that, you gotta do it, here go all the resources to do it. They helped me see it through. And I never had that. I never had too many opportunities and people there to help me with it. And CityLink was all of that in one. Yeah, I first was introduced to CityLink through the culinary program. I came to do the welcome tour. I came to talk to service coordinators. And from that moment on, it was just you felt loved, you felt good vibes. It was always a smiling face. And how can we help you? How can we be here for you? And you felt that. It wasn't just words, you felt it. I spoke with Emily, my service coordinator. She explained to me, well, we have this phlebotomy class too. And I'm like, phlebotomy? I never heard of that. What is it? It's drawing blood. I guess I could just sit there and watch someone draw my blood. So I knew I would be able to do it.
So Erica came in and she was in our very first phlebotomy training with our partners at Making a Change Cincy. Making a Change Cincy is committed to getting folks connected to an opportunity in healthcare. And in this particular training, the folks that are coming through are going through a 6-week training where they're learning everything they need to know about drawing blood. They learn about the vascular structure, they learn about putting tourniquets on, how to hold the needles, all the things that you need to know to be successful when you're drawing someone's blood. And then from there, they help place them into internships and then help them find jobs in the healthcare pathway.
When you first came into the class, when we first started, it was just understanding the terminology of getting your blood drawn and, different phlebotomy procedures. And then we had this arm, we called him Chris Brown. He was a big, manly looking arm. I was scared at first too, because it was I don't know, it was just this arm, and you just had to learn how to draw the blood from the arm, and then a couple weeks later we were drawing blood on each other, so it went really quickly. That was just something I appreciated, the fact that we dove right in. It was very hands-on, it was very informative.
Erica's service coordinators talked so sweetly about her. They said that she was the Elmer's glue of the class. No matter what she had going on in her life, she just came in with positivity and joy and just kept that class together. They all graduated together, they all got certified, and they all got jobs.
Once I graduated, I went for my 3-week internship. Once I got done with my 3-week internship, I was able to get a job at Children's, and I absolutely love it. I love working with the babies. What I love about being a phlebotomist is being able to care for the parents and the children, being able to interact with them, being able to get them from 0 to 100 really fast, being able to just care, being able to care for the children. That's something that I always wanted to do, and Children's gives me a great opportunity to do it.
We love to celebrate around here, and one of the reasons why is it's so easy as human beings to just push forward and never stop to take a moment to celebrate the win that just happened. And also, it builds resilience. When we come through something tough like that and we celebrate it and mark the moment, we know that when we face tough challenges again, we can get through them. And so we had the pleasure and privilege of getting to celebrate Erica recently, and she had her kids there, and it was such an incredible moment for her to be celebrated on her monumental accomplishments, but then also for her kids to see it and to get to celebrate their mama in the midst of all of this.
Life is definitely different now that I have this role, because I definitely have more patience. I'm very happy with the fact that I do have a career now, and it's like a breath of fresh air. The fact that I can say I'm a phlebotomist, that's a nice, and then you get what's that? You wanna know? You want me to tell you what it is? So, another thing that CityLink helped me with during my interview process, they helped me with clothes to wear for my interview. I was suited and booted. I looked like a lawyer. I definitely felt that when I was dressing the part, I was able to have more confidence, because I was nervous. Knowing that I was cute, it just helped me calm down a little bit, because I like to be cute. Being a phlebotomist, I want that to be my stepping stone. I want to go up further in the healthcare field. I am interested in taking the medical assistant classes they have here, because I want to elevate my career. But it's definitely changed, for one, my income. I'm definitely being able to earn more and provide better for my children. Now that I have this newfound stability, I'm very hopeful that I can climb the ladder in the healthcare field. That's always been my goal. I'm very hopeful that one day I can possibly own my own home. I could be able to, it's just gonna be a lot of more doors I can open myself, and I'm very much looking forward to me being independent. I'm looking forward to just breaking some of those barriers that was holding me back in the past. We're able to do more things, more family time. We're able to go more places that my kids wasn't able to go when I didn't have as much money coming in, because I was just so worried about bill, and now I have a lot more, fun money for me and my babies. I've definitely grown in my confidence level. I believe that I can do more. I believe in myself more. I'm very excited for my future. I'm thankful for my future. I'm thankful for my past too, because that definitely helped me to build myself into the woman that I am now and becoming. I just cherish every day, even more now that I know that the sky is the limit. I can do anything I put my mind to. I tell my kids that every morning, you can do anything you put your mind to, but it's true. My future is bright, and there's so much more to come.
CityLink has this incredible ability to be able to take people from all walks of life, bring them together, help us build something, and support us and encourage us. And basically, we all just remember how much alike we are, and that we all want the same things. We just have different paths of getting there. For me personally, my favorite scripture, it's really the only one I've memorized, is Proverbs 31:25, and it's, "She is clothed in strength and dignity and laughs without fear of the future." And it's hard to get through that whatever crying for me, but I can't think of a better way that you could lay that over what we're doing, and where we can give each other dignity and encouragement and strength, and then all of us can move forward into the future with joy and without fear. And so, if I have the opportunity to do that, it's a no-brainer.